And welcome to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. We speak to you about your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon to be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. And if you think somebody might actually find this of interest, hard to believe, but sometimes it happens, you can hit the share button below as well. First of all, shout out to the tech team over here at the Big Podcast. We had some video problems, which were solved by genius analytical thoughts, which actually included to plug in, to take out of the plug and re-plug in the camera. So that solved that problem. I'd like to speak today on an interesting article that I came across by Ben Carlson, who I've mentioned here once or twice from Ritholtz Asset Wealth Management in the past. He talks about different kinds of rich. And this is something that we've spoken about a few other times in the past. It's a conversation which is sort of a topic near and dear to my heart. So he starts off by saying, Quentin Tarantino, who's married to one of the Israeli pick girls, just so you know, that's a little bit of trivia, tells a great story about a time before he was a famous director when he worked at a video store. He was telling the other video store employee the types of movies he wanted to make someday. They told him, Quentin, they won't let you do that. And what was his response? Quentin replied back, who the blank are they to stop me? They can go themselves. We'll stop there. Now, I wasn't a professional filmmaker back then, he said. I was a brash know-it-all film geek. Yet once I graduated to professional filmmaker, I never did let they stop me. Viewers can accept my work or reject it, deem it good or bad with indifference. But I've always approached my cinema with a fearlessness of the eventual outcome, a fearlessness that comes to me naturally. I mean, who really cares? It's only a movie. So Carlson says, this is the man with principles. There's something to be said about the ability to do what you want without fear of repercussions from career risks, incentives, or the opinion of others. Of course, I will add that in today's culture where you get canceled, it's easier said than done, right? Think about all of the billionaires who are beholden to shareholders and politicians. It's possible to have all the money in the world, but little in the way of freedom to do what you want. What I love about Tarantino's mindset is that it's a different kind of rich, a rich that works when you're a broke video store employee or a famous Hollywood director. Doing things that bring you personal fulfillment is an alternative form of wealth. There are various kinds of rich that extend beyond money. You have the ability to unplug, right? NVIDIA is fast approaching the $4 or $5 trillion market cap. Founder and CEO Jason Wang is worth almost $140 or $150 billion, right? The guy is extraordinary. It's one of the biggest corporate success stories of all time, but he can't unwind because of the position he's in. In a Wall Street Journal profile, Ben Cohen explains, he says he doesn't remember movies he's seen because he's just thinking about work the whole time. And he rarely takes vacations, but NVIDIA employees dread when he does, Kim reports, because that's when he works even more, right? You're rich even if you can be fully present while enjoying life's little moments, taking a walk, going on vacation, spending time with loved ones, watching a movie, etc., etc. You can be money rich but time poor if your mind is always elsewhere. You have your health. Health is wealth because a healthy lifestyle can literally extend your life. He goes on and on. He says, you have time for family. Because I know a guy who made an insane amount of money from shares in a startup that went public. It was a life-changing amount of money. However, earning that money caused him to more or less miss out on the first 10 years or so of his children's lives. His job made him miss their games, pick up and drop off at school, time at the playground, school functions, trips to the zoo, junk time at home, all of it. Regardless of your job or how much money you make, if you have time for your family, you're rich. So I'd like to speak about that because along those lines, right, I was once working way back in Citibank. And my boss, I was here in Israel, and I had to report to somebody who was in Europe. And I had the exact same experience. This guy, like, before you even typed your email, he already responded. And he was 24/7. he was in the middle of the night. You were getting emails from him, and then he said he's going to the Himalayas or something like that for a vacation for 2 weeks, and we were all so happy. And then we started getting emails again. It was like, well, we didn't even think that there was reception in the Himalayas, but lo and behold, this guy found it. So, it's just like no stop. I guess the most famous example is Sam Walton, who obviously at one point was like the richest man in the world or one of the top three richest men in the world. And on his deathbed, or as he was dying, he regretted that he never spent time with his children and the grandchildren. He never held his grandchild when he was a baby. And he said, I have all this money, but so what? Right? The enjoyments of life passed me by. And I see that also all the time, right? I see from my view that people are so fixated on making money. I spoke about a couple of weeks ago that I once worked where somebody's whole goal in life was becoming a billionaire. Now, I guess that's a goal, right? But it doesn't particularly speak to me. And I think that we have to put things in proportion, right? It's great. And these people are unbelievable and they employ thousands and tens of thousands of people and they make the economy run. But there's more to life, maybe, than making money. That's what I think. You have to be a steward of your money. You have to protect your money. You have to give your money. So it's good to have some. So the more you have that you can give, but I don't think it should be the be all and end all to your being, right? Working 25 hours a day when they're only 24 hours a day is a little bit problematic, right? You need to take a break from time to time. We see that here in Israel all the time with startups. I've got plenty of clients who are high ups in the startup world, founders and what have you, and they are literally workaholics. And there is a cost to being a workaholic, family, other things. So again, this is like a different type of podcast that I'm doing because my job is to financial plan and make you as much obviously based on your goals and your needs, but make you as much money as possible. So, right. I see the point. But I'm on the investment side of things, right? It's sort of a more passive side of things when you're actively out there trying to create money through your business or your job or what have you. That's where, on the one hand, you can make a lot. On the other hand, that's where you have to really figure out sort of the work-life balance. Because life goes by really, really quick. Take it to somebody who just had another birthday. Life goes by pretty quick. And you blink and you miss it. And you certainly, kids grow up really, really fast and you miss all those things. I'm no different than a lot of people who have their own small business and, also miss things and you have regrets. But there is still time to change it, right? You're not that old, most of you, that you can't, you know what? From now on, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to go to the birthday party. I'm going to go to the soccer game or to the Little League game or whatever it is. Not miss those things because those really are ultimately the memories that you're going to have, that your kids are going to have, that your grandchildren are going to have. And that's, you can't put a price tag on it. But in many ways, it's worth more than $1 billion because at the end of the day, you can't take your money with you. But you can live a legacy of memories and who you were and your relationship with others. So keep in mind that you should still go out there and make money. I'm not anti, but again, you got to make that balance, that work-life balance. Try and make it work for you and your own situation. And your situation is probably going to be different than everybody else's situation. But, you do want to take a step back, right? And focus on, your loved ones, your family, other things that you enjoy doing, the sunset. I don't know. I'm getting very, very poetic, which is much like me, as you know. But, it's not just about another dollar in the bank, another dollar in the bank. Okay? You've been tuning into the Aaron Katzman Show. We speak about your life, your money, and, of course, your investments. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. And if you think somebody might find this of interest, you can go ahead and share it with them as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll speak to you soon.